All right. Well, I'm going to do a quick introduction of what we are going to see tomorrow in exactly 24 hours. So at 7 p.m. Central European time, or maybe just check whenever it is, but 24 hours from now, we're going to talk about money, about how to manage your money. So if sometimes happens at the end of the month, you were expecting to have more money and then you feel, hey, what happened? Where did my money go? This is going to be the event for you. And you will say, well, who are you? Who is this Francisco Castellanos? And well, yeah, I'm an aerospace engineer. Maybe if you search me on LinkedIn, you can find my profile. But you would say, why should I listen about money to an aerospace engineer? And that is because I was working, many of my years, I was working in operations. And in operations, what is what we do? Well, we prepare the team, the procedures, the tools to make everything work with no problems or the minimum amount of problems. So we try to prevent humans to make mistakes when they operate, in my case, satellites. And now I want you to learn from what I've learned on that industry with satellites, but how to prevent to make mistakes when managing money. And then what we're going to do is to set up a process that is going to prevent this human error, let's say. But still things will happen. So the thing is like how we can recover as well the nominal situation when something happened. And that is what we are going to do. And a part of that, I'm a vegan triathlete. And that is something that is not related with today's webinar. Maybe in another occasion, if you want, I can talk about high performance, health, and focus. But today, let's focus about money. So if you join tomorrow, I will love if you introduce yourself and you also tell us what is your secret sauce. Like I was a vegan triathlete, or I am a vegan triathlete amateur, but what is the things that you are proud of yourself? And also you can tell, what do you expect from this webinar if you want? Now, before we start, as I said, we are going to mention about the teams. So I was leading a team, a high performance team of around 20, 25 people, and also coordinated the bigger teams, about 60, 70 people. And that is key if you want to go further, okay? And if you want to develop something. And here it could be your family, your friends, it could be mentors. We will see a little bit who could be your team and should be involved here. Also, I'm a very fan of having the right tool for the right process. So here, if you want to assess what is your current financial situation and to prevent to derail in the future, you will need the right tools. And we will see some criteria to get some tools here. And as well, we are going to talk about the process itself, how we are going to decide how much money are we going to move and where and why. Of course, whatever I tell, you will have to assess if that is applicable to you or not. I will try to make it somehow generic, give you rules so you can apply those rules to your current situation to assess precisely for you how you would implement this system. Again, I'm not going to do tomorrow I'm not going to give any piece of advice or where to invest. If I do it accidentally, it's only a suggestion because I am not the one that should tell you where to invest. Every investment has a risk, so it should be you who get informed and you decide where to invest your money. The webinar tomorrow is going to be more about about how to move your money automatically where you want. It could be for investment, yes, but it could be just you want a new car, which is not an investment, okay? But whatever you want, the thing is we're going to make sure we have a plan to make this happen and we have the right tools set in a way we minimize the human error, spending the money in things we don't really want to. Again, if you want to apply things for your business, it's up to you. Tomorrow's webinar will be focused on private personal finances. It could be individuals, it could be families, but for private finances. You can get some lessons for your business if you want, feel free to join, but think the focus is for personal finances. Also, tomorrow you can tell what to expect, but I'm going to tell you what we are going to talk. So we're going to have some theory because I want you to make sure everyone attending on the webinar have some basic concepts. And then we're going to have a short practice exercises. The most important work, you will have to do it after the webinar at home because you will need to assess what is your current financial situation and set up the system. And that may take 2 to 3 hours, more or less, depending on how much activity you have in your bank accounts. But that is something we cannot do during the webinar, otherwise everyone will be waiting for. Also, we are going to talk about different tools, and we will offer a discount for one of the tools that I use for assessing my current financial situation. You don't have to use that tool at all, so you can also follow the rules I have to decide which tool to use. We will talk about that on the webinar, but definitely, if you want to use the tool, you will have a very nice discount at the end of this webinar. And also, because I believe you will need, the idea is to manage money, but I want you to make more money as well in the future. Then we'll give you access to a community we are building, we are starting, in which we want to put in contact people who want to create businesses with people who already is running businesses right now. So all that tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central European Time, so in a little bit less than 24 hours. And just to conclude, what I wanted to say today is, why do I do this? Is because really my personal goal is to maximize the joy of the people without really impacting the freedom. I want the people to be more free and have more joy in their life, also for myself. And I want to do that as well, minimizing the pain that we all have, also the pain that we inflict to others. And I think money is a very important part in our lives. I see how many people struggle more because they don't have enough money to cover their needs, and or even to have like a poor retirement, and that put a lot of pressure on people. It closes the options that the people is able to see, and creates a lot of pain for not only that person, but people around those persons that having this financial situation. So I hope tomorrow you learn a system that you can set up. You will invest a few hours to set up that system. And once you have it running, managing money would be easy for you. I hope see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central European Time in 23 hours and 52 minutes from now. Ciao. Okay, now the YouTube stream should have been stopped. I believe. Yes. Yes. Okay. And I don't know, Sefi, I'm going to try to bring you. Where do I see the people here? Nice. No, I don't see you on the meeting here. I'm still in YouTube. Ah, true. Why? Okay. Ah, yes.